Good late morning to all of my live viewers. Welcome to all of my replay viewers. Hope everybody's doing well on this morning, on this great Wednesday. What's going on? Thank you all for joining in. Hope everybody's doing great. Hope you're having an excellent morning. I just wanted to hop on the scope this morning and talk a little bit about excuses. Hopefully it can motivate somebody. What's going on, Lorraine Johnson, Sarah Furman? All of you all that are jumping on, grateful for you all being here. Let me know where you're from. Those of you that are on the replay, definitely you might want to fast forward a minute or so. Good morning. What's going on? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Those of you that are just joining in, Southern Cal in the house. I like to call that the left coast. What's going on, H2O Church? Glad to have you. You all follow H2O Church. He had a great scope on this morning. Very inspirational. What's going on from Russia? Glad to have you. Yeah, the left coast. I love West Coast. I love California, especially Southern California. It's beautiful, beautiful, very laid back. Yeah, very laid back people. So it's cool to have everybody in here. Good, good. I'm in North Carolina. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. Those of you that haven't been here, it's a great, great place to live. Thanks for joining this AM. Hey, absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely love finding great scopers and great content. And it was definitely great content. Christ is my life. I like that handle. Glad to have you on this morning. I appreciate the hearts as well. For those of you that are just joining in, if you could do me a huge favor by sharing with your followers, as well as not just on Periscope, but also on Twitter or Facebook, I would definitely greatly appreciate it. Love to get more people in the room and to definitely be able to share and add value to them. What's going on, Tanya, Erica? I appreciate you all sharing with your followers. Thank you. Much appreciated. Those of you that were on the scope last night, we had an excellent time, great time. Those of you that didn't, definitely catch the replay. It was very, very good scope. I don't say that just because I was scoping. Good morning to you as well. I say that because the engagement with the scopers on last night was great. You know, we had a lot of discussion last night about the difference between confidence, or the marriage between confidence and competence. What we said on the last scope is if you increase your competence level, your confidence level will immediately rise. So for those of you that are new scopers, sometimes it just comes with practice. It comes with you fine-tuning your craft, fine-tuning your skill. And the more you fine-tune your skill and craft, your confidence level will rise. So today I just want to talk a little bit about excuses. And I want to talk primarily, when I talk about excuses, absolutely awesome scope last night. Thank you. I definitely appreciate it. So I want to talk a little bit about excuses and the difference between compassion and pity. And a lot of times when people give excuses, oh man, Tawana B. Smith is in the house. That's a Periscope all-star. You all definitely follow her. She does some amazing scopes. Blessings from Michigan. Glad to have Michigan. I have family in Flint and Detroit and in Saginaw, and in those areas in Michigan. So I definitely love Michigan. Thank you all for sharing with your followers. Those of you that are just joining in, share with your followers as well. Awesome. So what I found out a lot of times with starting ventures or doing what we want to do, trying to find the motivation, trying to find the will to do better. How do you share? If you have an Android device, swipe up and you can share with your followers. If you have an iOS device like an iPhone or Android, swipe left to right and you can share. I'm down in Monroe, North Carolina. Great. That's not far from me at all. So definitely thank you all for inviting your followers. And if you're just joining and haven't followed me, definitely by all means, follow me. I'd love to have you. I'll try to follow back as well. I like to follow back. But a lot of times what I've learned is when we start a venture and it doesn't necessarily succeed, a lot of times we automatically formulate excuses, reasons why we haven't succeeded, reasons why we haven't gone forward, reasons why, we haven't been successful. Oftentimes it's the blame game. We typically blame possibly our past. If my family was more supportive, then I would do it. If my friends were more supportive, I'll do it. He's got golden pipes. Okay. If my friends and family were great supporters, I'd do it. If I had more money, if I had more influence, if I networked with the right people, then my venture would go forth. You know, if I had the money to go back to school, possibly I'd be further along. If I didn't have those kids, or if I didn't get married young, or get in that failed relationship. So we're full of excuses and reasons for why we don't necessarily do what we need to do all the time. And what I found typically when we give excuses, it's not really productive why we give excuses. Sometimes we just give excuses because we want people to feel sorry for us. And a lot of times we're seeking the pity of someone instead of the compassion of someone. And the difference between compassion and pity, they're very, very similar. But the difference between compassion and pity, and I wrote this down, I'll say it very slowly so that hopefully someone can get it. Pity is, we have pity on those that could but won't. We have compassion on those who would, but can't. I'll say that again. We have pity on those that could, but won't. We have compassion on those that would, but can't. Typically, when you see those commercials on TV and you give money to starving people in a third world country, typically it's not because you pity them. It's because you have compassion on them. It's because you realize that possibly they would do better, but they don't have the means to do better. And a lot of times when we give to Salvation Army, or even in this Christmas season, I do a lot with my church with Toys for Tots and different things of that nature. And typically every year we serve about 600 to 800 families with Toys for Tots. But I say that to say that we typically don't do it because we pity those people. We typically do it because we have compassion. And a lot of times the stories that we hear of those people are people that want to do better, but can't, whether it's, you know, they've been laid off for a job right around the Christmas season, or they don't have the means to do it financially. So it's not pity, it's compassion. But we pity people that have the means, but just don't do it. They have excuses to why they don't do it. They have the means, the capacity to do it, but for whatever reason, they don't get off their seat of do nothing and do it. So typically we pity those. But if you look at that word, when we pity those, we pity them because pity denotes pitiful. When they're pitiful people, we have pity on them. And pity typically does not invoke us to act to help. I'll say that again. Pity doesn't usually invoke us to action. You know, when you see someone that's pitiful, you don't typically want to spend your money on them. You know, you see somebody that's pitiful, right? Excuses equals justification. I learned a long time ago, I try not to give excuses. I try to give explanations. And with my explanations, I typically try to have actions that will allow me to change the poor choices that I've made, or the inaction that I've had before. So instead of giving excuses, I'll give an explanation. You know, it is more, maybe even be an apology. You know, I apologize for not executing this time. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do something different. So when you give an excuse, typically it doesn't give you any room for any action. When you give an explanation, typically it sets yourself up, or you should set yourself up for an action. If you drop the ball, find a way to make it right. If you did something wrong, hurt someone's feelings, find a way to make it right. Don't make excuses. Don't just say, well, I'm sorry, and nothing goes from there. Hey, my mom is here. Dr. Connie Green. You guys join her. Awesome woman that we'll be scoping soon. So like I said, never have pity on people, but have compassion on people. You know, with pity, we typically, like I said, we're not moved to action. If you see somebody that, could work 9 to 5, 40 hours a week. Hey, ma, could work 40 hours a week, but sits home eating cereal and watching TV all day. And then they're complaining about getting set out of their house. You're typically not going to go into your wallet and give them money to pay their bills. Why? Because they have the capacity to do it, but have decided for whatever reason not to do it. But if you have someone that's struggling, single mother, 4 or 5 kids, is a widow, her husband passed away. She lost her job. She's trying to do everything that she can. She's working 2 jobs, but still can't make ends meet. Typically, you hear that story, you'll have compassion because this person would, but they can't. So, when we look at that difference between compassion and pity, that typically drives whether or not we help people or not. So I want to get you to the point to where you're not making those excuses. You're not the pitiful. You're not the ones that people can pity. You're the one that if you have a justifiable reason why you can't do it, People will have compassion on you and help you. What I found is a lot of people want to help you when they see you doing something. I help people that help themselves. You know, I'm not just in the business of helping and feeding and clothing and paying people's bills that don't have a resolve to do it for themselves. But when I see people that want to help themselves, want to get more educated, want to be more motivated, they want to seek the tools and the resources to take their lives to another level. Those are the people that I invest my resources in. One thing that I've learned a long time ago is I can't help everybody. I have a big heart, huge heart. I want to help everybody, but what I realize is I can't help everybody. So I have to be very selective with who I help and very selective with how I help, because I don't have, unlimited time. I don't have unlimited resources. I don't have unlimited money. I don't have unlimited knowledge. So a little bit of knowledge and time and money that I do have, I have to disperse that in ways that will be productive. So a lot of times we spin wheels with family members and friends and acquaintances trying to help them when they don't want to be helped. Stop wasting time with people that don't want to be helped. That's the first thing I ask people when I counsel them, when I coach them. I always ask, hey, do you want to be helped? Where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself 6 months from now? Where do you want to be? And what strides are you doing to help? I learned a long time ago with counseling from a ministerial and pastoral level that you can spend time counseling people for hours and hours on end, but if they have not decided that they want to change, you're wasting your time. I know that might sound insensitive and indifferent, but trust me, if you spend several years finding this out through hard knocks, you'll realize that, listen, I need to counsel people that want a change. So that's the first thing that I do before I even counsel anybody. I ask them, do you want to change? What do you want to see different? If it's relationship counseling, do you guys want to be with each other? Hey, listen, I've learned in marital counseling and relationship counseling that you can counsel people for 8, 9, 10, 20 hours. And they've already decided before you even went into counseling that they wasn't going to be together. So you were wasting your time. So the first thing you have to figure out is, do you want to do better? Are you looking to go forward? Are you looking to improve your life? And if so, hey, I'm ready to help you. Have to want to change. Absolutely. You have to want to change. And that goes with ourselves. You have to want to change. Stop making excuses. You have the capacity to at least start what you have goals to do right now. And sometimes there's small incremental steps. Stop trying to conquer the entire world in 1 hour or in 1 day. It's the journey of living day by day. You have to live this thing day by day and make incremental growth and incremental steps throughout life and mark off your goals step by step. Once you go through that process and those incremental changes begin to happen and you begin to grow, you'll begin to see your life change and you'll be able to move on in great strides. I tell people all the time, in order to accomplish a great distance, you have to first conquer the small distance. In order to accomplish a great distance, you have to first conquer the small distance. I can't get miles down the road until I get feet down the road, until I get yards down the road. I can't, it's just very practical. I can't reach 100-mile marker until I reach the 100-foot marker. So take incremental small steps first and you'll get to those larger, bigger goals. So stop making excuses. Don't wait to January. I said that on last night's scope. Don't wait to January 1st to say, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then by the end of January, you fell short. Or by the end of February, you've fallen short. Start it now. Stop making excuses. Write the vision right now. Write the vision right now. Jeremiah chapter 3 says this about compassion. This I recall to my mind, therefore I have hope. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed. It's his compassion that fails not. He didn't say it's his pity. It's his compassion that fails not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. So every day that you wake up, you have more compassion. You have more grace. You have more mercy from God to do what you did not do on yesterday. So don't even make an excuse. Give no thought for what you did on yesterday. Yesterday is gone. You can't retrieve it. You can't go back and redeem that time. Go forward into today. Say, look, I may have lost 5 hours yesterday, but I'm going to try to gain that incrementally back. I'm going to try to redeem the time time, and instead of wasting time with people that are not going anywhere, I'm going to immediately change my circle. I'm immediately change how I operate. I'm immediately change my habits. In order to break a bad cycle, you have to replace it with a good cycle. In order to replace a bad habit, you have to replace it with a good habit. So that's the way that you break bad cycles. You replace it with a good habit. All right. If you don't, by default, you go back into the bad habit. So I'll say that again. If you don't replace a bad habit with a good habit, by default, it goes back to the last bad habit that you had. So that's why you keep going back in the same cycle. You break it for a while, and then you go back into the same cycle and making the same excuses. Why? Because you haven't replaced that bad cycle or that bad habit with a good habit. So don't make excuses today. Go forth, do whatever you need to do, be productive. Don't be one of those pitiful people. Let people have compassion on you and help you if you need it, and they see that you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing and that you're actually going and doing your work. All right. You guys can do it. You can make it. Visit my website if you like to have additional coaching and counseling. I would love to help you. I specialize in helping churches and ministries and organizations, nonprofits, even small businesses, entrepreneurs get your ideas off the ground. I help you, give you that nudge and that push to help you get momentum to be able to start and do what you want to do, and not only start, but have sustainability. I don't want to just push you and motivate you and get you to start your venture and then it dies after 2-3 months. I want to help motivate you to be able to have sustainable growth and sustainable success. So visit my website at www.roger, that's ROGER, green, like the color, GREEN, JR as in junior.com, rogergreenjr.com. And I say that, I have to spell that out because, believe it or not, when I say Roger Green, like the color, some people do still ask me, is that with the E on the end? And I'll be like, green, like the color. I digress. So Roger, ROGER, green, like the color, if you don't know how to spell it, GREEN, junior.com. This isn't senior. No, I'm junior. I'm Roger Green Jr., not to be confused with Roger Green Sr., who is my father, Dr. Roger Green Sr. Follow him on Periscope as well and on Twitter. He'll be on there as well. So definitely you guys follow him, as well as my mom, Dr. Connie Green. They're going to do some great scopes on relationships and marriage and a lot of things. My father's an attorney by profession, so he's going to do some scopes on business, the legalities of business, how to start a corporation, different stuff like that. So definitely follow him. So I hope this motivated somebody. Stop the excuses. Don't be pitiful. Go forth and seize the moment. You know, carpe diem, seize the day. Do what you have to do on today. I appreciate those that followed today, those that shared the broadcast. Definitely continue to share with your followers so that maybe they can catch the replay if you joined in late. I definitely appreciate the hearts. I love the hearts. I love the hearts. It lets me know that you guys are on task, that I'm adding value to you, that I'm giving you something of substance. You are most welcome, Lorraine Johnson. I definitely appreciate you, and I appreciate the value that you add to the scope and how you jump on and are so courteous and so kind. So we appreciate my Southern California connection. Thanks to you all that are joining. I'm about to hop off for those of you that are just joining in, but please, by all means, catch the replay. And if you're just joining in, you can share with your followers now so that they'll be able to catch the replay and follow me as well. Enjoy the message. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. You guys, please follow my mom. She has a tremendous testimony. She's on her second book. She's about to write her second book. Mom, put up some emojis or something so that people can follow you. Put up some smiley faces or something, a whole bunch of them, so that your screen will stay on there for a minute. Right. That's Mom. So if I don't have an amen from any of y'all, I got an amen from Mom today. I followed your mom. Thank you. Thank you for following my mom. I'm getting her on the scope. I'm training her, getting her acclimated to it. And she's going to be scoping really, really soon. She has a testimony for a whole bunch of people to share that she wrote a book called When Love Hurts. And she talks about dealing with depression, dealing with forgiveness, how to forgive people. Her father murdered her mother when she was around 15 or 16 years old. She talks about how she had to forgive her father and the battle of depression and suicidal thoughts that she dealt with, and how God allowed her to overcome bitterness and anger and depression. So for some of you all that are going through some things, there she go, smiling. Follow her. You don't want to miss it. You want to check out her book as well. She has a tremendous testimony and just a powerful woman. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. She followed you. Lorraine Johnson followed you, Mom. Definitely follow her as well. I believe in spreading the love and networking with the right people on Periscope. So by all means, you guys spread the love. So you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you all later, and I'll be back later on today.